right. I think we're good to go. All right, guys. Hey, everyone. Steve Salvia here. G'day, financial planners. Really excited to be with you today. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's, it's a really important thing for financial planners to learn when it comes to understanding what drives your clients or your prospects' dominant decision-making motivations, and using that knowledge to engage and interact with people, like 100 times better than you currently are. So really, really excited about that. It's actually a process that I call the 4 forces. So I'm just gonna flick over to that screen here, get that one down there, move that slide along. Yeah, great, awesome. So yeah, it's a process that I call the 4 forces exercise, and basically it's part of our 7-figure it's part of our 7-figure mastery model that we work to at Coaching Club here. It's actually the second pillar, which is the attract pillar, which is basically made up of 3 accelerators. It's the build authority, expand your network, and initiate conversation. And today's learning is definitely part of the initiating conversation part of this. So yeah, really cool, and looking forward to that. Now, the other thing, guys, I've got a worksheet that I'm going to work to today. Lots and lots of people have downloaded it already. That's kind of why we're doing this. So yeah, look, if you'd like a copy of it, you'll be absolutely all you need to do is type in underneath this video. If you're watching this live, type in underneath this video worksheets, and we'll make sure we drop the worksheets for you. If you're watching the replay, hit replay, hit the word replay underneath the video that we're watching, and we'll shoot the worksheets out to you straight away. And if you're doing neither one of those, just grab a piece of paper, clean sheet of paper, couple of pens, and you can kind of draw along with me as well. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going with this today. I'm just going to make sure that we are all live. I wish I knew how to get rid of that. There you go. There, so cool. So guys, yeah, here's the thing. This is critical information if you want to improve the way you communicate, the way you interact, and with potential clients. So I want to make sure that you got some notes down. So if you want the worksheet, type in the word worksheet, and you'll be absolutely sweet. Okay. So look, here's the thing. I'm going to jump to my iPad right here. I'm going to zoom down to iPad. So what I want you to be aware of, guys, is that we're going to work on this this worksheet here called the 4 Forces Channeler. And look, here's the thing. Every single discussion that I ever have with a prospect, every single piece of marketing that I ever create, any piece of IP that I ever make, effectively every single time I speak to a human being, I talk, I think, I'm concerned about what I call the 4 forces, right? Right at the very start. It's the first thing I do anytime I ever do any marketing. I might just move this up here so I can see you guys. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so it's basically the 4 forces are basically what I call the dominant decision-making motivations that 95% of your clients and your prospects have going on in their mind. And in a business context, it's kind of how do we make them need you and also want what you've got. That's effectively what we want to do at the end of the day with from a business point of view, right? So, and really that's the ultimate goal. If you're talking to a client, we want to bring on a client. We want to add substantial value and help people out and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to grow your business, we want to get people on. We want to bring the right people into our business. And if we can uncover these things, it'll make a massive difference to the way you speak, you think, the way you build relationships, and it'll absolutely get you focused on them and what they want, which will in turn get them focused on you as well. Okay, so that's basically the crux of what we're talking about here. Okay, so now I'm going to walk through this worksheet. It's a simple worksheet. It's got intense implications depending on whether you do it right or whether you do it wrong. So I'd really love you to either grab the worksheet, type in the word worksheet underneath this, and we'll get one to you. we'll get you the link. Otherwise, grab some paper and really pay attention, draw along with me, and we'll be absolutely golden. Okay, so let's talk just really quickly about psychology for a minute. Okay, really basic psychology here. But I want you to know that the reality is that some people are actually motivated. I'm just going to jot this in here. They're actually motivated towards what they want, right? They're motivated towards what they want, and some people are motivated away from what they don't want, right? So there's this horizontal sort of line from left to right that's away from motivations or away from emotions and towards emotions. So it's really important that we understand whether someone's kind of motivated away from something or motivated towards something. And then what you've got on the other axis, on the vertical axis, you've got some people who are motivated by the present, right now, what's happening in their world right now. And I'm going to call that immediate. Please jot this in. Right, so that's their immediate, and then they're also, some people are also motivated by the kind of the imagined or the perceived, and that's what I call the future, right? So they're either motivated by things things like goals, dreams, desires, vision. They're future focused things, right? So, guys, firstly, does that make sense as a concept? And by the way, guys, if you haven't got the worksheets, just type in the word worksheets. We'll get them out to you as quick as we possibly can. You will get value out of this worksheet and the others that I've got in there as well, okay? So we've got away from and towards motivations. We've got immediate motivations, and we've got future motivations as well. So up here in the top left, we've got a situation where people have got issues that are really present right now, things that they really want to deal with, or they want to get sorted right now. So that's what I call the frustrations. Just jot that in. So that's their frustrations. It's things that are happening for them right now that they kind of want to move away from. That's what people are frustrated by, right? And then what they've also got on the other side of it, they've got the things that they've got right now. They've also got their wants up here at the top end, right? So people are in the now, in the immediate. It's either a frustration or it's a want, something that they want right now. So they either want to move away from a frustration or a pain point, or they want something right now, right? So it's like it's things that people are moving towards, and they're now issues for people. So it's either a frustration away from or a want is towards. And then underneath that, on the flip side of that, you've got people who are basically they're things that they're concerned about or stressed about or worried about are people's fears. And then on the other side of that, if we change it over to red and green, we've got things that people are moving towards in their future, which is, of course, their aspirations. Right? It's their aspirations. So the things that at the top are kind of immediate things, they're frustrations right now that they want to move away from, and wants that they want to move towards. And they've got their fears that they want to move away from in the future, and they've got the aspirations that they want to move towards in the future. So the things that your prospects want to move away from and avoid in the future are their fears, and their aspirations are the things that they want to move towards. Okay, what we're doing here, right? We've got these four emotional forces. We've got the frustrations and fears that people want to move away from right now, and we've got people's wants and aspirations that people are trying to move towards, either right now. So that's actually right now or in the future. So people want stuff right now, and they've got the aspirations towards the future. So this is what we call the four forces, right? Why am I talking about this? Well, the reason I'm talking about this is that if you can tap into or you can harness people's four forces, really understand the keys that are actually driving your clients and motivating your clients through their dominant decision-making motivations. So these are the four dominant decision-making motivations, right? They're I call it the four forces. And then what happens is if you can really understand this, All you've got to do is push the right hot buttons in the right order in a... If you can push the right hot buttons in the right order in a very, very specific way, what will happen is that people will instantly recognize exactly what you're saying. They'll hear your messages, because what will happen is your messages will stand out in the crowd, and they'll really resonate specifically with the people that you want it to resonate with, and it's going to resonate because it's the stuff that's going on in their world right now. They've either got frustrations and fears that they want to move away from, or they've got wants and aspirations that they want to move towards. Okay, so the clearer you can, the clearer you can get in your niche, the deeper you can. The clearer you can niche, right? The deeper you can understand the particular segment of the market that you want to work with, and then by overlaying these 4 forces principles, you'll be able to speak with clarity. You'll be able to speak with resonance. And, because the reality is they'll have never heard a financial planner talk like that before, and speaking in their language about the things that are going on for them in their world, either right now or the things they're looking to move towards. And what will happen is you'll speak with such a clarity that it'll make you the logical choice to work with at any sort of in any given opportunity. Okay, really, really important that we get that. And here's the thing is, you'll be the reason for that is you will be the very first financial planner that's speaking directly to them about their problems, their frustrations, their fears, and you'll be able to show them the solutions that you've got to their short-term wants and their long-term aspirations. And that's really what we want your marketing to do. We want them to get them to understand that they've got a problem and that you've got the solution for that problem. Okay, so that's why this is really critical to get this part right. Okay. So, really, that's the name of the game at the end of the day, and it's an incredibly powerful skill for a financial planner to possess. So the first thing here is to get your head around the 4 forces, the frustrations and fears and the wants and aspirations, and start to speak in that language, okay? So guys, the next thing we want to look at here is basically it's how do we actually put this into practice, right? So just to give you a little bit of context around this, and I've got this sort of next little worksheet here, this little next exercise, and it's kind of a brainstorm for you to do about clients and people and your business and your specific situation, right? So you want to be thinking about, what are your ideal clients' top three frustrations. So we want to put frustration number 1 over here, frustration number 2 over here, and number 3 over here, right? So what are they stressed about? What are they concerned about? What's keeping them awake at night? What are they worried about right now? What are the things that are in their world right now that are now issues? And it's basically things that people want to move away from. What's going on in their world right now that they don't want anymore? That's kind of what we're talking about here. And if we think about the 3 frustrations, and then what we want down here is we want the number 1, what's the fear? So that frustration, that leads them to fear something about their future, right? So the 3 frustrations are happening now, which leads them to fear about something in their future. In other words, what are those frustrations causing them to fear or to worry about? What about their future do they most want to move away from or want to avoid completely, okay? And once you know that, you can then offer them exactly what they want. So you flip it on the other side. So once you know the 3, frustration number 1, frustration number 2, frustration number 3, then you can go on the opposite side and say, okay, if that's what you're frustrated by and that's what you fear, well, then the opposite, it stands to reason that the opposite is the want and the aspiration are the absolute opposite to that. Okay, that's basically the thing that they want most. So what do we want here? So we want number 1, want number 2, want number 3, which leads them to their main aspiration, which is basically just the opposite of everything over this side. So, what are they aspiring to financially? That'll be the opposite of the thing that they're trying to get away from now, or the thing that they fear, or the thing that they're afraid of right now. Okay, that's their aspiration. So if I fear this, I must want the opposite of that. I want the other end of that. So it's really important to get these frustrations and fears right. So then it's really simple. Once you know the frustrations and fears, all you've got to think about is what is the opposite, and that's going to end up being their wants and aspirations. And this is what I talk about by channeling or harnessing that four forces, okay? So look, just as an aside, really, really simple, okay? I want you to know that the frustrations and the fears are much more important than the wants and aspirations. And I know that sounds a little bit weird and a little bit counterintuitive, but there's three reasons for this. Number one, first reason, Tony Robbins always says that people will do much more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure, right? So you'll find that pain and stress and concern are a much more dominant motivator. Share the screen, and I'll give you a practical example of this. So this is a great sort of lead magnet that we did for Sarah Millard, awesome financial advisor. Hey Sarah, I'm using your stuff as a bit of a model here because I just love it so much and I love you so much as well. So basically what it is this is a lead magnet that Sarah did called the Horizons. Her business is called Financial Horizons. So we created a lead magnet called the Horizons 360 guide, right? So how wealth creators and pre-retirees can take back control and take back financial control and reach their ultimate financial destination. So I just want to read this out to you. This is just what we call a magnetic message, and this is how we start to put this into action. So hey there, my name's Sarah Millard. My team and I provide holistic financial advice to busy families, business owners, time-poor professionals, and people looking to move towards their retirement. So I help these people, right? When I first meet my clients, they're typically working hard to build wealth for their families and or their retirement, right? Feeling like they're paying too much tax is a frustration right now, right? And they assume that they're doing well financially, but they're not getting ahead at the rate that they envisage. That's another frustration that a lot of people have. They're often juggling work and family responsibilities and have demanded jobs that leave them little time to manage their finances as well as they should. So that's another one. That's a third frustration. Sometimes they struggle with cash flow and growing their investments, and the amount of debt that they accumulated over the years can be overwhelming at times. So that's another frustration. Okay, they want to get rid of this debt, but they're just not sure where to start. Unfortunately, right, many of them are also anxious about their money and their finances in general. So these are all now issues. These are all frustrations, right? Things that are happening for them right now. And they don't have the comfort and financial success that they've been working so hard for. So all of those things, all of those are frustrations. And the last one there is the fear is that they're not going to have the financial comfort and success that they've been working hard for. That's the fear, right? Then on the flip side, although we specialise in cash management, debt reduction, wealth creation, tax minimum, all the stuff, right? The most important part of our role is to help people take control of their important and sometimes complex financial matters, which gives them confidence and certainty. That's the want and the aspiration. So they're the wants, basically. People want control, confidence, and certainty. Ultimately, I help them clear a path to simplify their money choices, grow their wealth, protect their assets that they've worked so hard to build, and make more informed strategic and financial decisions so that they can get on with enjoying their lives. If that resonates with you, this guide will help. So if you see how the structure is there, who does Sarah help? Well, she helps these people with these problems, the frustrations and fears, and she helps them get to the wants and the aspirations. So Sarah came up with that beautiful little magnetic message simply by doing the worksheet exercise that I showed you before, which is called the Four Forces Hot Button Map. And just to kind of finish that off, just to give you a bit of context, how this all works. Then we just go into, if you don't have a follow your financial horizon, your family may be at risk. We just drill down on the three frustrations and the fear. Frustration number one, frustration number two, frustration number three, and the fear is, so we just drill down even further on that again. Then Sarah created her solution to those problems, which we created the 360 Wealth Compass. Horizon, distance, north, south, east, west, all that sort of thing. So we created the Wealth Compass, which helps people manage their cash flow, create wealth, and protect their assets. And here are the steps that we take. And then she talks about accelerator number 4, accelerator number 5, accelerator number 6. Then she summarizes everything. Why am I talking about this? Here's the pathway to wealth, which is follow the compass. What do I do now? So there's a strong call to action. And then she's got your next step is to have a chat about this, a 360 financial 360 discovery session, short, sharp, valuable, 45 minutes. Here's how I do it. I designed it specifically for people just like you. click the button, and where does that go? That goes over here, which goes to her calendar, and she's absolutely golden from there. Okay, so but what I'm trying to get at here, so that's the lead magnet that she created simply because she got her head around the Four Forces hot button map. Okay, so I've got another little bit here. Part of what we also did was if you could give them anything in the world, what would they want above all else? Not product, but outcome or product or of your product or advice. And then I got her to build a little story, and then we translated that and beefed it out a little bit, padded it out a little bit, and we got it into that lead magnet. Okay, cool, makes sense. I hope this does, guys. At the end of the day, team, what it is if you do this really well, you'll talk directly to the things that people are interested in or that are important to them and their families, of course. And you'll be talking to things that are in the present moment for people. That's the really important part here, okay? So you'll cut through the noise, you'll talk fair and square to their frustrations and their fears, which will help you figure out and also talk about their wants and aspirations. Your messages will get clearer, your conversations will improve, you'll resonate way more with the type of people that you want to do business with and the people that you can help as well. And you know what? It's an absolutely beautiful thing, all right? So, dude, that's it for this week's Boost Your Business tip. If you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. If you know a financial planner who might need to hear this message or might get some value out of this, tag them into this and let them get some value out of it as well. If you've got a comment or a question, just add it underneath wherever you're watching this, add it, or reach out to me. Private message is all cool. Anyway, look, this has been fun. Really appreciate your time and your attention. I could talk about marketing and prospect attraction for basically all day. I love it. I can't get enough